This is our 30th anniversary, and that means we already been serving the community selfishly for 30 years. This organization was established 30 years ago in 1986 by founder Qi Wang.
My dad is extremely patriotic, and he loves this country that has given him so many opportunities in life, and he is super proud of his Chinese culture as well. And he noticed that maybe there could be more representation in education about the Chinese culture. For example, my mom went to the library and English is her second language. And so when he noticed there weren't any Asian or Chinese library books, they started donating books and money to there. And then he noticed that in the schools, there wasn't accredited Mandarin-speaking classes, and so he became a liaison and went to China and Taiwan, looked at their curriculum, and brought that into Sacramento. I actually attended, which is dating me, one of the first classes where they were teaching a Mandarin class. They recruited one of the teachers in school that was actually doing librarian work, but also was able to do a really good job teaching Mandarin during that time.
And one of my goals is to make sure that Mandarin or Chinese is taught in our schools from kindergarten through 12th grade. I recognize that the second largest economy in the world is China. 1.4 billion people are ready, willing, and able to do business with California. But we do our children a disservice if we don't prepare them to communicate with the Chinese and other countries.
The Sacramento Chinese Culture Foundation put together a great gathering today where we brought residents from throughout the Sacramento region to participate in a lot of their activities. Had great cultural arts and music performances by individuals. It was a great gathering just because you had people come together. Anytime you can celebrate our opportunities.
A4 on Aging reaches out to the whole community of 7 counties here in Northern California. And we sponsor Meals on Wheels, we sponsor transportation to get people to their doctors, we sponsor hospice facilities, various things like this. And one of the strongest programs that we have in that regard is our Meals on Wheels, and it is sponsored by the Asian community. The Chinese Cultural Foundation helps to fulfill a need in the community of senior citizens that are in need of food and transportation to their various facilities.
This health fair primarily we thought about East-West, so that's why we get all the Chinese doctors to come in to kind of melt with the Western physicians so that they can learn from each other.
In my observation, I found out most of the Chinese don't go to any local health fair. They don't want to walk into other groups' health fair. So we have to make one up for the Chinese community. It's very important for our own group.
It's a great pleasure. We invite all the physicians in Western medicine and also Eastern medicine to join the effort, to bring the service, to provide the care to our patients, our friends, our family members in the community. And we hope this historical event can happen every year. So we have this opportunity to unite all the community leaders, physicians, even pharmacy students, medical students together.
I was contacted by Mayu Carlson, the Sacramento Chinese Cultural Foundation, about an event in which Western medicine meets Eastern medicine. My first reaction to that was it was a brilliant idea, considering that we have Chinese culture that is thousands of years old, that has practices that actually works. This is an opportunity to bring to the forefront some of those practices and an opportunity for some of those practitioners to meet Western doctors.
I saw my parents how they promote the Chinese culture when I was a kid. And then when I came here, I always have this want to help to promote the culture, especially I have 2 kids right now. So I hope I can, through this organization, and help them to learn more about Chinese culture.
I think that it's important that we support the Sacramento Chinese Culture Foundation because it brings back our history. It reminds us of all the things that our forefathers, the predecessor, did in developing our culture in Sacramento.
I am one Chinese family that lives in a community of 450 homes. So there are a lot of people there that don't understand the Chinese culture. And so I was trying to expand our culture a little bit by having a Chinese New Year's out where we are. So I started it and conducted it for a couple of years, and brought in the Chinese dancers and our line dancers and so forth, and hopefully we could expand the culture a little bit.
We did a lot of programs before. Like in 2013 and 14, we had a big Asian Performing Art Festival at Crest Theater, and pretty much a full house. And a lot of board members worked real hard.
I want to do well by our children. I spent 10 years as an adjunct professor teaching law school, and I know as a son of an immigrant parent the importance of education, particularly for Chinese and Asians.
His goal was always just to provide scholarships for students because the Courts of Chinese Culture is very proud of being educated and values education. And he wanted the culture to be well known, and he wanted to show his pride for Chinese people and their culture.
Scholarship programs is actually, I think, started about 5 years ago with Wells Fargo's major donation. And I'm involved with a local Chinese school, and we applied, and it helped our students to learn, and we had some competitions, and we can use that to help our students to learn. And Grace's son is about to join the school, and in the future, it's gonna help our, all the participating Chinese school.
I have been looking for a scholarship to help others, help students gain their education. And my husband had passed 4 years ago, and as I promised to him that we would establish a trust fund to help fund students' education. And so this year, I learned about the Sacramento Chinese Cultural Foundation and found out what they did, and I was really impressed, so I decided to donate to help further educate other people.
We want to continue to do our scholarship programs award every year as long as we keep our sponsors and get more sponsors.
I appreciate my mom to give the chance to let me volunteer here and learn more about social and have more experience.
Pretty awesome. I like this place. I like this foundation. I saw a lot of performers like Kung Fu. Pretty cool. So it increased my social experience and make a lot of social friends.
The Confucius Institute at UC Davis was established in 2013, and there are about 500 Confucius Institutes around the world today, and ours is the only one that focuses on Chinese food culture, which includes Chinese food, tea, and alcoholic beverages. Confucius Institute at UC Davis provides funding for scholarships to the schools to support the study of Chinese language. So it has been a great partnership, and we really enjoy working with the leadership of the foundation.
After I was born to Chicago, suburbs of Chicago, and we faced some bigotry and discrimination. So one of the things that was very powerful to me was people, good people who came into our lives, who understood the struggles that our family faced, And so one of those was an elected official who my mom partnered with. So I recognize the power of good public servants, building communities that are bound together, understanding that we have common values, that we're invested in each other's success. And so if each of us are doing well, the community does better.
I hope, after the celebration, we can continue to do the promoting the Chinese cultures, and also, continue to give the reward and scholarships to the Chinese learning students and the school. That's our goal, to promote the Chinese language and the cultures.
As you know, Sacramento Chinese Culture Foundation been around this area for 30 years. So we always host Chinese culture-related event for Chinese community in Sacramento. So New Year, new us. Come to join us and support us.
Sccf! Yeah!